Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Disclaimer: this video has no intention of hurting anyone's feelings. But if your feelings are hurt, well, I can't do anything about it. So what's going on here? We have that evil guy called Putin, who calls Western lands of Poland a gift from Stalin. So Putin claims that the Western lands that Poland currently owns in its territory are a gift from that bad dude, that Georgian guy, the communist, terrorist, criminal, Stalin. Well, that did not sit well with the Poles. But hey, first question, is it true? I don't care if it sits well with you or with me or anybody else. I care to find out if that is true or not. Alright? So, first things first. I know that the Germanic tribes were in Europe before the Slavic tribes. So, starting that, we're not going to take that away from the German tribes. Why? Because otherwise we're going to take something from the Native Americans, and we will not do that. That's my first point. The second one, I will go to, hey, is it true that Stalin gave German territories to Poland or not? Well, it is true. And you say, hey, Emil, you're bad. Well, maybe I am bad. I'm pretty sure I am bad here and there. No, I was not scratching my balls, I was scratching my calf. But hey, you can consider it a ball scratch, I don't care. So what's going on? Let me show you first what this bad dude called Putin said. European Pravda. Putin called Western lands of Poland a gift from Stalin. Russian President Vladimir Putin stated that the western territories of Poland are a gift from Stalin, end quote, and Poland should be grateful to the USSR for, and I'm quoting, restoring its independence. Well, partly true. During a meeting with permanent members of the Security Council, Putin mentioned reports about discussions on the creation of a Polish-Lithuanian-Ukrainian union, which he interpreted as a, and I'm quoting, threat of occupation of Western Ukraine, end quote. He asserted that this would not be something new, recalling events from 20th century. And I'm quoting Putin. I want to remind you what aggressive policies led Poland to in the past. It ended tragically in 1939 when Poland was abandoned by its Western allies to the German war machine and practically lost its independence and sovereignty, which was largely restored thanks to the USSR. It was thanks to the Soviet Union and Stalin's position that Poland received significant territories in the West, German lands. Yes, the western territories of modern-day Poland are Stalin's gift to the Poles, end quote, said the president of Russia. Now, I don't know exactly what point he made here, like Stalin gave them that land or not, but partly he is correct, and I'm going to show you a few maps. First, I don't pretend whatsoever to be an expert on Polish history. I know a few things, much more than an average guy, but I'm not an expert. And it doesn't really matter if I am an expert, the maps are not that hard to be read, and the time frame where the maps can tell us a story, a toddler can understand those. So I don't need a PhD to read a map and a period of time of the map. Neither you do. Alright, so let's start with the first map, or rather with the history. History of Poland, 1795-1918. Between this time, Poland, as an independent sovereign country, did not exist. It was restored only after the First World War. How was it restored? By giving, as Ukraine was given in the Soviet Union, lands from their neighbors. Well, let's read here. From 1795 to 1918, again, this is not for me to take a shit on Poland. I really don't care about that, okay? Not really, I really don't. Poland was split between Prussia the Habsburg monarchy and Russia, and had no independent existence. In 1795, the third and the last of the three 18th century partitions of Poland ended the existence of Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Nevertheless, events both within and outside the Polish lands kept hopes for restoration of Polish independence alive through the 19th century. Poland's geopolitical location became especially important in the period tra-la-la-lu-la-la. Okay, so we got that. So between this, they didn't exist. What happened in 1918. Poland was restored with lands from countries that lost the war. All right, so I'm going to go here. Map of the German Empire in 1914, before the First World War. You see this, the German Empire? You can look here, for instance, certain kind of locations here, and you understand there is no Austro-Hungary Empire. Poland is not anywhere. You see, it's Prussia, Königsberg, that is the Kaliningrad. Got that? Kaliningrad, which is Russian right now. Danzig, you see this Danzig? Danzig actually triggered the German invasion of Poland, the Danzig issue. Right? You see Danzig here? This is Vistula. Warsaw is right here. Was not under German Empire, was under Russian Empire. Bad, okay? But it was not such a thing. You see this? You take Danzig and you get the Vistula. All this was in German Empire, in East Prussia. This was East Prussia right here. German Empire. Now we're going to move to Poland in 1918-1945. This is after the German Empire disintegrated and lost its territories, and they were given to Poland. Okay, it says it's German-Russian frontier 1914, right here. And this is the same as this right here. All right? And then it says Poland in 1938. This is between the wars. So it's this green thing with full green. So they were given from here to here. Okay? And right here, see how far it goes? This is Romania. Right here they had a border with Romania. And here it's part of Russia and Belarus. Okay? This is how big it was. Very big, Poland. And remember, Lvov, it's here somewhere, okay? So that belonged to Ukraine, supposedly. It was not a country, all right? It was not a country, but was part of these guys. Now, territory annexed from Czechoslovakia in 1938. You say, what? Yes, when the Germans invaded, Nazis, Czechoslovakia for the, how do you call those territories in the east? They say, well, we won those territories, and then eventually they got the whole Czechoslovakia. In the same time, Poland, all right, invaded here and took this little part with the Germans, like the Soviets did to them with the Germans in September 1939. All right, so they did the same thing, but they kept quiet about it. Right? So then, territory annexed from Czechoslovakia in 1938 and territory annexed from Germany in 1945. All these things that you hear with pink, they were taken, including this, all that, taken from Germany in 1945. Taken, not taken, because Poland did not win the war. Poland was a no country in the war. Poland was partitioned between Soviet Union and Germany starting 1st of September 1939, when the Germans invaded, the Soviets invaded, and they cut it into, I think they met on Vistula, if I remember correctly. That's what they did. Okay, so they met right here on the Vistula, the Soviets with the German Empire. So it ceased to exist again. So then someone gave Poland this. See where Danzig is? Danzig right here? This is Danzig. This is Danzig. This is before 1914. Before the war started. Danzig was in the German Empire. Right now, Danzig is right here in the middle if you go straight down of Poland. So this territory is right here. If you look at this right here, you see all this? Danzig here, probably here somewhere. All this taken from this. So I'm not trying to defend that guy called, see Lviv here, Lvov. All right, I don't want to, these are the territories that Ukraine will take at one point because they think all this belongs to them. So they will try to take that from Ukraine. Now, I'm not saying this to defend Putin. Putin is a bad boy and a big boy, and he can defend himself if he has to. I'm just, showing you that, partly he is right about that. Territories from Germany, from German Empire, were given after the Second World War by Stalin. Why by Stalin? Because Stalin wanted a big Poland, so he can expand towards Germany as much to the west. They got Eastern Germany as well, and that reminds me of a story between Stalin, the bad guy, and it was Henry Truman, a weasel, a weak person. And they were having a conversation. Unfortunately, Harry Truman thought that he impressed Stalin, but Stalin, in his private conversation, thought of Harry Truman, the president of the United States, as an loser. But anyway, so at the meeting, Harry Truman, I read it in a beautiful book. I can't give you the exact name, especially of the author, but nevertheless, you can find that. He said, Truman told Stalin, yeah, but hey, you know what? You're gonna get Poland, because you see, the free world gave this criminal land and countries and nations. Therefore, they made deals with the bad dude. Criminal, big guy, Stalin. That tells you about the free world, how great it is. Besides dropping 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You can't make shit up. Anyway, so Truman told Stalin, hey, Joseph, can you please, the Pope would ask you to take it easy on the Poles, because they're Catholics, and the Pope would like you to be a little bit nicer with the Poles and so on. And this is what Stalin told this weasel. He looked at him and he said, hey Harry, how many divisions does the Pope have in Poland? And the idiot Harry was, give me that cock. All right, so he did not say anything. Why? Because Stalin was talking about who's got the bigger shaft over there. He said, how many divisions does the Pope? Why should I even care about what the Pope says? So that's the guy that the West negotiated and agreed to partition the new spheres of influence on this planet. They didn't want Hitler, but they wanted Stalin. So yeah, Stalin wanted that, Stalin got that for the Poles. You like it or not, you got it. Were there German territories? Look over the map. Don't trust me. Maybe I'm a weasel, maybe not. You do your own research and you're going to find out. And remember, between 1795 until 1918, there was no Poland. It was before that, but if we are to take Poland then, okay, and say, well, it was the Poles, and the Poles were big. Yes, they were. For about 200 years or 300 years, Poland has a great expansionist policy, and they attacked other countries, and they killed other people, including Romanians. Don't deny that. That's in the history. 2 clicks away. All right? So they did that to other countries, and they were not the first on this planet or in Europe. The Germans were before them. So however you want to take it, well, those were our territories. No, they were not. They were Germanic territories. Gotcha? Gotcha. Okay? So you got that through conquest. Like the Americans, the frontier, how do you call it, these guys that just showed up here on this continent, got it from the Indians. Yes, they were Indians. You call them native? Well, people who were born here were native. Look at the definition of native and find out who qualifies as a native. All right, thank you very much for being with me again today. Again, this is not to take a shit on Poland whatsoever. It's just these guys are upset about something that really is accurate. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.